up and shared their story with us. I grew up in York Region. I am a proud Canadian. I am a descendant of parents that moved to this country for a better life for their kids. And they provided that for us. We moved to Newmarket, and I went to the school system, and I heard that these stories existed. I knew that these stories were happening. I have lived it as well. Honestly, not to the same extent. I won't lie, not to the same extent that these ladies are sharing about their sons and their daughters, but I know it happens. And my parents, when they moved to Canada from Trinidad, from St. Kitts, via London, England, they came here with an education that was on par. They came here ready to work hard, but they also came here with the realization that this country has its systemic problems that are going to impose challenges for us as Black kids. My brother and I grew up knowing it was only a matter of time. So as I grew, it's easy to bury your head in the sand. You make friends, you get along, the community is going, well, life is easy. It's easy to say, these problems don't happen in Canada. That stuff happens that happened in the past. That happens in the States. That doesn't happen here. But as you grow up, you start to realize your responsibility as a daughter, as a friend, as a mother, as a parent, as a business owner. You start to realize that you have a voice, and we need to come together and work together to actually share the message that these injustices cannot continue. And that is why moving from York Region to Simcoe County has given me so many opportunities as a business owner to watch my children grow in a community that can be better. And again, your faces here today, your support here today is proof that we can make change. It's proof that we can do this together. So thank you all. Thank you all. But it doesn't stop after this rally. It doesn't stop after this conversation. It's about being uncomfortable. It's about being scared. It's about taking the fear that we all have inside and saying, you know what? I don't want to go out. I don't want to say this. I don't want to upset you because I don't want anything to happen to me, to my kids, to my friends, to my family. But if we are silent, it's going to continue. So make noise. And together we are making the noise that we need to continue to make this change a reality. So when I had an opportunity to join the Barrie Chamber of Commerce, to get more involved in my community outreach, to be a leader that people are looking to for answers, and I was approached by several groups that came to me and we acknowledged the racism, the systemic injustices, the challenges that Black people are facing right here in our own backyard. It was a no-brainer. We need to come together. And I was proud and humbled to be invited to sit on the board of making change across Simcoe County by my sister Shelly Skinner and Michelle Newton. And Shelly is here with me today. She is here with me today because we recognize right here in our own backyard something needs to change. And we need to do it together. Our voices are just that. We are being heard, we are making noise, but again, the more voices that come together, we can do this. And you are all proof that it is happening. The world is awake. Yes. So it is with great pleasure that I introduce my sister, Making Change founder, award winner of the Heart and Soul for the Barrie Chamber of Commerce, community advocate. She's run for city council. She is Woman of the Year, Shelly Skinner, everybody.
Hey, everybody. I like to call Stephanie good cop and I'm bad cop. Because I'm not here to make you guys feel all fuzzy inside. I'm here to make you feel uncomfortable. Okay?
You need to.
Yeah. I started my advocacy for community and for human rights back in university when I grew up and got a chance to get to know better, And when I saw the world, when I really saw the world, I didn't like what I saw. I fought with HIV/AIDS, the pandemic, for queer community back in Montreal. And then I became a mother, and everything changed. Because I wasn't just fighting for myself anymore. I was fighting for my children, for their future. And I could not stop talking. I fought for women's rights, to end violence against women in our community, for healthy sexuality so we can know that we are sexual beings and we are allowed to love who we love and be who we are. I have fought for the queer community all across Montreal, Toronto, here in Simcoe County. And most recently, my battle is towards the Black community, in particular when I moved to Barrie, Ontario, and everything changed. Because I know we're in Simcoe County, so most people don't expect it to be very racialized around here, but it's a lot worse in Barrie, okay, guys? Can you imagine looking like me out there and being as loud as I am out there? When I reached out there, I recognized within 1 week when I was called a nigger 3 times, and I hadn't probably heard that name in years, where I was. And that frightened me because I brought my children there. But I came. Do you want to know why? Because I had ended a relationship. I was a single mother living in Brampton, Ontario. And guess what? Nobody wanted to rent to me. So I had nowhere to go until somebody told me, we can help you out here in Barrie. That's how I ended up there. Because a single Black mom with 2 kids means I have no choices. Unless I want to hand my children over to someone else to raise for me so that they can live. This is our reality, time and time again. And the only way that we can get on top is usually to step on each other's backs, because it's usually one position only for us. In an organization, on a board, in politics. So how do we do it? We have to step on each other so we can get ahead. And it's unfair, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. In this community, I will also look at the people of color in this community. It is hard work. I will tell you, I couldn't knock on doors unless I had a white friend with me. They would knock on doors for me and ask for me to come and speak. It was 15 times harder for me to knock on doors than every other my white candidates. And I still looked around with no support. My people of color, where were you? Where were you? You cannot be complacent in this fight. I don't care if you got a good job and you've got Beamers on the driveway and your sisters and brothers are dying on the street. You need to step up and fight for us. We are all one. Me and my sister Michelle started making change because we were people were calling us because, we were the 2 token Black folks that were doing things in the community. So everybody was like, are you doing a Black History Month event? We're like, we're not historians. I don't know. Do you know what to do? I don't know. And we were like, yeah, there was nothing else happening. And it's the only time we had a voice. So I wasn't going to let it pass up. I said, well, fine. And in 3 weeks, we hosted an event. And that event turned into an organization. And that organization, we invited Stephanie onto our board. And this past February, we had sold out events in Barrie, Ontario. But it wasn't enough because we had to scrape every opportunity to get out there. We had to beg and plead everyone to give us space, to give us a voice. It was exhausting while we still tried to do our full-time jobs and not get paid for it. Just so that all of my Black brothers and sisters had a voice in our community. We need you to show up for us too. We cannot be complacent anymore. I have decided from today, my full-time job is activism and fixing this damn country. I will not stop until things change. I will not stop. I sat at home like all of you during COVID. I'm a hairstylist and esthetician. And I got laid off, and I sat and I watched the news and I listened to the stories, and I recognized that I still wasn't enough. And I didn't know. I felt like even more of our freedoms were going to be taken away. And what's going to happen? And when a store opens back up and they've got 10 employees and they're only able to hire back 2 because they had to pivot for whatever reason. Is it going to be my racialized brothers and sisters? Is it going to be my queer folk, my trans folk, the people we've been fighting for? Most likely not. So we're ready to get into another stage of oppression, and I won't let it happen. So I've decided with my organization, I jumped up and said, we are going to help uplift the Black youth who are sitting at home right now, those kids who are online reading the headlines, and they are scared and they are unsure what's happening, and they don't know if they have support. They can't even go to school and talk to their friends. They can't even go to the park and hang out with their friends to talk about this. They're home and they need our support. So we are doing an Uplift Black Youth Simcoe County project. And we need your support to make sure every single Black kid in Simcoe County gets a care package that has letters and cards and toys and candy and everything you could possibly want to uplift Black youth at home while they're home. They need to know that our neighbors give a shit about us. We need to know that you care. And not just because it's cool right now and trendy. Okay? Do not jump on the bandwagon of outrage. We are exhausted and we need your support. So if you are here, I need you to do something. It's not just about listening to our stories anymore. It's about going out and supporting Black-owned businesses, making sure that Black artists have a space in your galleries, on your stages. Make sure our stories are able to be told so that you realize how beautiful we are. There's nothing to be afraid of. We are the ones who are afraid. They make it seem all on the media like that you should be scared of us. We're the ones who have to have the conversation when our kids leave the door. Do not put a hoodie on. Make sure you are walking groups. If anything happens, duck it before anybody else because they're going to put it on you. And you might not make it home. And as a mother, I cannot stand for that anymore. I need all of you, when you leave here, to reach out to your local organizations. We need to fix our own backyard. I don't even want to hear about the states right now. Unfortunately, I cannot hear about it because I have to worry about my kids here today, right here in Simcoe County. Because as a mother, that's the capacity that I have. So I need everybody to think about their families and their neighbors and what's happening in our community because it's unfair and we are tired. And this is not new. We are just done. We are done. So I hope all of you, when you get home, follow Making Change across Simcoe County on Facebook, Making Change SC for Simcoe County on Instagram. You can go to makingchangesc.com. If you are a parent of Black children in this community, you can register your children to receive a care package. And if you are not, I need you to go out and I need you to collect items or donate to this cause and find anybody else in our community that you can support that's doing this work. Do not leave here patting yourself on the back if you're not going to do the work when you leave here. I am so grateful for this opportunity to be here. This is my third protest in 3 days. I just want to leave you with just one note. I love you. I love all of you, and I will continue to fight for you. And if you need me, just like I need you today, I will stand up, and I have proven that to everybody in my community. There's nothing to be afraid of. Just remember that Black lives matter today and every day.